of all ages. New and improved and fresh from Philadelphia, I bring you Dawson Leary. Now,
look at that guy. Look at his hair. Look at his shirt.
Hair, the voice, of course, we fell in love with him 20 years ago. Can you believe it's been 20 years? Funny, charming, Pacey Witter on Dawson's Creek, and now Joshua Jackson, all grown up, and joins us here on BT.
He's talking about a Canadian clothing drive that helps men dress for success and women. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
So good
Thank you for having me. That was an interesting performance choice on my part in that little clip.
Why?
What voice was I doing there?
I don't know, but what do you mean? It was a hit show. You're a hit star.
Must have been good. Anyway, hi. Thanks for having me.
It's so good to see you.
Sorry, I'm throwing my cards here because honestly, I was a massive Dawson's Creek fan, and I told you a little secret over the break that
I know.
It was always Dawson versus Pacey, and I had a crush on Dawson, but now I have a crush on Pacey.
No accounting for taste, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? I apologize for that. But we do want to talk about your dress for success, and you're always using your platform for good. If you look on your Twitter feed, it's constantly. You were just commenting behind the scenes on Trump. We might get to that a little bit later, but right now we're going to talk about dress for success.
Right, so I'm here to support Moore's Dress for Success drive, which gives people who need a helping hand an opportunity to step back into the workforce in nice clothing. Gives them the opportunity to present themselves with their best foot forward. And the idea is you can go into any Moore's around the country, and you buy a suit and you get 50% off if you want to donate a new suit, or you can bring in any lightly worn piece of business clothing that you have, male or female, and donate that, and you give somebody a chance to, for whatever reason they got out of the workforce, they're having a tough time and they need to step back out and feel confident about who they are and presenting themselves, and you give them that chance.
Yeah, and it really is. When you put something on, a different piece of clothing, you transform almost.
It's true. It took me a long time in my life to learn that, and I didn't come from a family where we wore a lot of suits, and I didn't come from a background where I understood how important that was, to present yourself and to sort of, if you want to play the part, you got to look the part. And so I think it's really important to give people a chance, particularly when, life comes at you fast and maybe you've been knocked down a little bit and your confidence is a little rattled, and to give somebody an opportunity to go and put their best foot forward, because, we can have this debate, but often we do get judged. The book does get judged by the cover, and if you step into a room and you look the part and you're standing tall and you feel proud, you will probably open more doors for yourself.
Well, it is one of those reciprocal things. People do treat you differently, and then you stand a little bit taller. They call it a power suit for a reason. As a woman, I love wearing them myself. You stand a little taller, you feel like you got a little more confidence, and you know how intimidating it could be going on any job interview or auditions as a big star, even like yourself.
Well, yeah, I mean, in my world it's slightly different, but it is, I had to wear a lot of different costumes as I was going in and going to my job interviews, which are auditions. And to learn that of you have to walk in with a certain degree of confidence, but you also have to walk in the part, right? You have to walk in and present yourself in the best way possible. And most people won't take the time to give the second look, right? To really dig deep. So you got to present them with what you want to show them first, and then hopefully they see that and you get a second chance.
First impressions. You do us so proud here as a Canadian.
You do. You know what? You've created your own style too. I've got to say, you look phenomenal.
Well, thank you. All dressed up.
Yeah, very fancy.
And using your voice for good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying. I mean, it's one of the. Life has been very good to me, and one of the great joys of having a wonderful life is being able to give back a little bit or share the things that I've been able to learn or experience. And so, being here and doing something like this with Moore's, this is an opportunity to do something like that.
And they can do that until the end of July 31st, I think, is the cutoff date?
Yeah, it starts on Canada Day.
Yes.
And goes to the end of July.
Okay, I need to ask you, you were in Texas a couple of days ago.
I was.
What did you see? As you can see, it's making headlines here, of course, around the world.
As it should,
yes. What did you see, Josh?
What I saw was a jail for children. I was in Tornillo. There are multiple of them set up along the border, and I was standing 200 yards away from several hundred kids who had been separated from their families simply for the sake of abject cruelty, and it's totally unacceptable. As Canadians, it's a little bit trickier for us to help, but you can donate to Rises Texas. There's a bunch of different organizations. Or you can call your MP and try to get the United States taken off of the safe list for refugees, and then we can do third-party refugee resettlement into Canada. It's a broader topic, and we don't quite have enough time to really deeply get into it, but just make your voice heard.
That's it. Be educated, and as you said, there are things we can do as Canadians. We're not, just because we're on this side of the border doesn't mean we can't take action.
The whole world needs to be outraged by this.
Joshua, thank you so much for this, and obviously more information. We'll get that all on our website, breakfasttelevision.ca, for the Dress for Success, because
Excellent.
that's a great initiative.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Right now we're going to throw things over to Tam.